A lot of people think their avoidant partner left them because they didn't love them anymore, didn't care, all the things avoidants tell you, right? I fell out of love with you, I just need to focus on myself. I'm going to explain to you why it's actually the exact fucking opposite, and that's not delusional. I want you to think about avoidance as having a locked cage around their heart. As we know, an avoidant's core wound is rejection, because when they were in childhood, any time that they were vulnerable or expressed a need, they got dismissed and rejected. Now I want you to think about getting into the relationship with your ex-partner, the avoidant, okay? They have this locked cage around their heart, and you have a key to that locked cage. But in the very beginning of the relationship, like, you're not close enough to them yet, right? You're not trying to open up that cage. You're not trying to stick the lock in. The cage is still closed up tight and locked. And you two are just in the love bombing phase, getting to know each other. Everything is loosey-goosey fun time. Well, as the relationship progresses and you guys start building foundation and really getting to know each other, you start getting closer and closer, and the avoidant starts getting stronger and stronger feelings for you. What happens is you, with your key, start getting closer, inching closer to unlocking the cage around their heart. So let's say you're 6 months in and you start inching real close to that cage around their heart, and they start sensing that. So then they start to distance a little bit, right? And you're like, oh, okay, what do I do? They start distancing because they're like, ooh, I don't want this person getting close to that cage around my heart. Because you know what happens? If they unlock that cage, that makes me vulnerable to rejection. If that person has access to my heart, that makes me vulnerable to rejection. I got to keep that shit locked up. This person can't get that close, so I'm going to start to distance. But what do? You're like, oh no, don't distance. I have this key to your heart. I want to come unlock it so we can have happy fun times for the rest of our lives. But this is scaring the avoidant. They don't want you to unlock that cage. They love you and they have strong feelings for you, but that fear is too strong for them. The closer you get with that key, the more they pull away. Then maybe about a year or a year and a half in, something happens that just really builds some kind of intimacy in the relationship. All right, maybe you guys go on a trip together, or maybe someone in their life passes away and they cry in front of you. Something happens, right? And you get the closest you have ever been to unlocking that cage. That is too much for them. They're like, oh no, this person is too close. I like this person too much. We are too intimate. We are too vulnerable. This person is going to reject me if they unlock my heart. They cannot see my real heart. I cannot be that exposed. I need to leave. So they abruptly leave with their locked up cage. And what do? They go jump in with someone else where they can experience validation, but have that heart locked up. Right? Nobody is going to unlock that cage around their heart. Now I want you to think about an avoidant inside of a more toxic relationship, because a lot of times avoidants can stay in toxic relationships a lot longer. If they are dating someone and there's like a tumultuous nature to this relationship, maybe their partner is yelling at them all the time, there's a lot of conflict, the avoidant is going to feel more safe with this because that person is not trying to get close and unlock that cage. So even though the avoidant doesn't necessarily like the conflict or like the tumultuous nature of the relationship, they're actually more likely to stay longer in a relationship like this than they are in a relationship where they are falling in love and having very strong feelings for someone. The more they love you, the more special they think you are, the more potential they see, probably the quicker they're going to leave you, and the more certain and guaranteed it is that they are going to leave. Because they know if anyone is going to get into that cage, it's going to be you. And they couldn't bear it if you unlocked that cage and you got to their heart and you're holding their bleeding heart in your hands and you rejected them. That would be the end all be all for an avoidant. That is what they are running from.